Looks like we're off.
Looks like we're off.
Ooh,
Oh man, what a first item to find.
yeah. Hammer for Andy. And we've got lumber sank. That can be interesting.
Yeah, that can be interesting. That pretty much means they can't get directly to the escape drop unless they do AGA 1, right?
Yeah, they won't be able to get into that tree without beating AGA 1 and finding the boots.
But they can still, assuming they can access Hyrule Castle easily, they could still go the normal escape way if they so choose, right?
That is correct. Alright, we got crystals 2, 3, and 7 in the light world.
Yep, all crystals in the light world this time.
Well, that'll lead to some interesting placement in Dark World, then. We may skip some dreaded dungeons such as Turtle Rock and Ice Palace.
Well, for these runners, we can only hope. So Andy really has quite a big advantage here, starting in Link's house and finding the hammer immediately, because he's got a nice, convenient, and pretty high damage weapon right from the start, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much the weapon of choice, assuming you won't get the fighter sword, and it's much stronger than it anyhow. So these runners are both well versed in the use of it. If you tuned in early, you would have seen Schwartz taking down Moldorm with it quite deftly.
Ooh, but Schwartz finds the hookshot here.
Oh man, good pulls from each of them.
Yeah, that's two very important items right in the beginning. Looks like Schwartz is immediately setting up for the Hoolihan room to farm some rupees for bombs, I'm assuming.
Makes sense. And chat pointing out that while Link's house is a go-to place, the river drop's not always high up on the list.
Yep, that's very true. Oh, and there we go. Now Schwartz has his hammer too.
Very nice. We had Sick Kid at the Kakariko Fortune Teller.
Yeah, that's an important location to remember for later on.
Bat Cave in the Kakariko Well.
Also an important one to remember.
Yeah, if we see that powder at all.
Oh, and there's Aghanim.
Aghanim?
Sorry. I'm an idiot.
Oh, no. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm not sure how I mixed up that old man with Aghanim.
Maybe Agana.
The more, yeah, I think I probably mixed him up with Agana. But the more important thing to mention is that Schwartz didn't have any bombs to actually get the items from the dude, whatever his name might be.
Too bad he didn't talk to him. He would get some intel as to where the green pennant was. But I guess he doesn't really need to know that.
Yeah, it would be nice for our trackers. It might come back to bite him a little bit, depending on what the green pendant actually gets him.
We got Bombos.
A wild Bombos appears.
Yeah, a lot of the classic sweeps going on here at this point. Basically getting through the forest, Kakariko. A lot of doors to go through, and so it's a high value move.
Yeah, just checking a lot of the easily accessible places in the beginning. Schwartz getting a bad deal from the bottle vendor here.
Oh no. What was that, 100 for 20?
Yep, exactly.
Boy.
Well, looks like the Fat Fairy moved to the blacksmith's house, but had nothing but a bunch of money.
Yeah.
No, Andy's getting his bad deal here. They're both pretty much just checking the same places here because it's a very common and, as you said, a very lucrative, potentially beginning route to take through this.
Yeah, until Andy gets over to his hook shot, he won't have quite the same mobility as Schwartz, but they'll feel at least pretty good getting around to any places filled with enemies. And as long as they keep stocked on bombs, we'll probably see the see the southeast sweep after this.
Yeah, probably like the dam and then the mini Moldorm cave, or at least what used to be there.
Right. And no way he can quite brave that spike cave.
So now that Schwartz finally made some of his money into bombs, I really do hope he goes back to Sahasrara, which is his actual name, not Agnew.
It's all good, man. And now, where was that? That was the part I missed.
Yeah, see, that's exactly my problem, too.
Okay. Maybe Chat can help us out there. Oh, we've got Ganon found on the secret passage.
Yep, looks like Ganon's hiding there.
And the hookshot had been located in the river drop.
Oh, and Andy found the desert pellets.
At Hyrule?
I believe so, yes.
Well, yeah, that would be the place he could get to. Okay. My fault for asking.
Let's see what he finds.
No, Ganon was in the sewer where Uncle normally is. The hookshot was up by the river.
Yeah, to the east of where Sanctuary usually is. So far, Desert really hasn't paid off much for Andy at all.
No, not yet.
Looks like he thinks so too and decides to save and quit out of it. Not that he really could get anywhere else, I think. Oh, it looks like Schwartz found the graveyard ledge cave.
Right, he did, and getting a much-needed heart upgrade. And Andy right behind.
Yep, they're definitely right on each other's heels. We'll see how much advantage Schwartz can get out of the hookshot until Andy actually decides to check that river drop over there.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I think one of the big things will be enemies, but also if he can remember which surfaces are sticky, then he might be able to pull some kind of little micro leads here and there.
Yeah, that's very true.
Ooh. And the hype cave getting replaced with the mire shed, and having some hype indeed with that flute.
Yep, and again, Andy right behind them.
Indeed.
Seems like we're gonna get some swag ducks in here soon.
Indeed. Both of our runners making the same move then. Pulling right out the sanctuary to get over to town.
Yeah, it's reasonably close, I guess. I wonder, is it closer than the actual sanctuary, screen transition-wise? I think it should about be the same, right?
Yeah, I think so. The only way it might be any different would be if it's a slightly longer walk north to south than it is east to west.
Yeah, that's true.
But transition-wise, yeah, it's right on.
Man, how many times I've wished for that duck to hurry the heck up. First, you gotta listen to the whole theme, and then you gotta wait for it to prance around and be all proud.
The prancing duck. The lesser known inn from the Lord of the Rings series. Ooh, and this is going to lead to good things for both of our runners as Schwartz finds the pearl. Now, this will be a case where I think Schwartz can start leveraging that hook shot in that he can get across the bridge. And now we're playing a simple shuffle too. And if, say, the 7 stash ends up over in its vanilla location, then that's going to spell a big lead for Schwartz, most likely.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot more chances to actually find stuff up here now that Andy does, sadly. I'm going to assume Andy's not going to take too long to check that drop.
Hopefully not, but we are going to see now another divergence in route where Andy gets Sahasrarlo with the Power Glove. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this makes things all the more interesting, but he's going to have to get up the Death Mountain to get that pearl first.
So technically, both of our runners now have 2 of the 3 pieces needed for a Dark World Wizard.
Yeah.
Schwartz is lacking the glove, and Andy is lacking the Moon Pearl. Looks like iamtheschwarz is navigating a dark cave that I can't really identify right now.
Yeah, without his audio, I'm not sure, but I know one of the ones that a lot of our runners will go for is the Old Man Cave.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. Looks like the shopping mall kind of lives up to its name.
Yeah.
Got a quick view of my favorite NPC in the whole game. Oh, and look at that. We were talking about that earlier, the 7 stash.
Oh, and it is on east side. Wow.
It is on east side.
Yeah, that's going to make a difference. Or at least that entrance is on there. I forget quite how that works.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure myself. If he's unlucky, he might not find the actual entrance that lets him get to any of the items. Oh, well, never mind that.
Oh, yeah, here he goes. All for the taking. Likely to see some big stuff here as Andy makes his way up to east.
Wouldn't it be interesting if he found a progressive glove in here?
That would really even things out.
Let's see where Eastern leads us today.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's Ganon's Tower, jeez.
You know, if he had that hook shot.
Uh-huh, I was just gonna say. You can't really do much at all here except for check the torch and these 2 chests, I guess.
Nothing too big out of the cave there.
Nope, just a ton of money. That was an interesting way to set up that bomb jump. I think maybe I saw it wrong because I only saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I think Andy spied a little blue tunic on the torch in GT.
I ended up missing it.
I'm sure chat will correct me soon if I'm wrong, as they have when I called Sahasrara Aghanim.
Someone calling Key.
It was a key. How did I see a blue male? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have commentated today.
Well, I'm glad you're here in either case. We got Potion Shop at Sahasrara. And a sword on the desert ledge.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, Andy... Oh, wait. Was it Andy who found the desert entrance? I think it was him, right? At the castle?
I forget who found it, but it was at the castle.
So, theoretically, he couldn't really get out there. I'm mixing up my entrance shuffle stuff.
That's alright. Oh, someone's suggesting you're on the magic powder, sir.
I wish. I would turn myself into a fairy so fast you don't even know.
We had a bottle on spec.
Was that Vanilla Spec Rock Cave?
I missed it among the,
I just saw a drop that was, like, not a hole, but a drop that you could do, but I think it was too small to be the Vanilla Spectacle Rock Cave. Looks like Andy's gonna pick up his Moon Pearl now, so that gives him Dark World access.
Awesome. And then we found, even though that cave didn't have much in it, the 7 stash does have an entrance on the west side of Death Mountain, so Andy will have transit over there if he likes.
Oh, that's always very helpful.
And it, at least for now, pushes off the advantage offered by, what do you call the hookshot?
Looks like Andy found the back entrance to Spectacle Rock. I think Schwartz was here earlier. Yeah, it was just 10 arrows, or an arrow upgrade, rather.
Yeah. And the hookshot had been located at the river ferry, which is just to the east of Sanctuary. Oh, and Schwartz does make it out this time with his old man. I'm going for the big drop and getting an awesome clip.
Gets 10 arrows and a floating old man.
Yup. Which of the two is perhaps the real reward? Andy making his way up top. Gonna go make a Hera check as he scares off a Tektite.
Those Tektites are snipers.
Oh, they're the worst.
Looks like Schwartz is going for a Dark World check here, the only Dark World warp he has available to himself at the moment.
We got Pod at the tower.
By the sounds of it, it's a pendant, right?
Oh, that's correct.
So while we don't know which pendant it is, it's still a good place to check out. Oh, well.
It's just as well.
Probably just a death warp to get back up there.
Yeah. Although, did he make it to the chest?
He got a key out of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with the sound desync we're experiencing, I'm a little puzzled at times.
Yeah, it's a little confusing sometimes.
That's alright.
Sadly, the beginning of Pod is usually pretty key loaded, so it's sometimes you get lucky and find an item or two, but usually you just get a bunch of keys here in all these chests.
That is correct. Pretty much got to make sure you can get into the dungeon regardless of the route you take, so you don't get a lot of good stuff off the front of this. But since he's able to, at this point, if he's comfortable in the dark, get through everything but the Bowlock chest, he may end up coming up with something.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he's fine doing the dark maze and everything, he could end up with some pretty rewarding items.
Small keys.
Looks like he's going for another death warp down here.
Yep. And with that big key too, he'll be able to tap into the big chest, and who knows, maybe he'll even bomb jump it.
That would save him some darkroom navigation, even though I really don't know how to do that bomb jump at all.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar with the tech myself, except that it's apparently very, very precise.
Looks like Schwarz can't quite decide if he actually wants to further explore the east of Death Mountain or not, but seems like he's going for it.
If he would go check Eastern, he could find himself in quite a good place.
That is true. Alright, Andy gets some bombs. And the key. So far, he's only gotten a red rupee and some bombs, I think.
I think that's right.
Looks like he has no qualms at all about doing the dark maze here.
Yeah, with that hammer, he'll be able to kind of feel his way around.
Yeah, it's always nice to have something visible. The usual thing is to hold your sword out, but since they're lacking that...
Indeed. Piece of heart. Andy having to be careful now.
Yeah, he's down to one heart. As the wonderful beeping tells us.
Schwarz now making his way to the top here. We'll probably see him make a similar play to... I think Andy picking up the map on that chest.
Yeah, I think the map is what he got.
On a timely exit from that room.
And another piece of heart. Really not much to show for his visit here.
Not at all. Gonna give himself a boost to the front door.
The good thing for Andy is that Schwarz is doing the exact same thing right now, so really not much of a time loss, if at all.
Right, and knowing ahead of time that it's not terribly valuable. It really kind of keeps him in the lead in spite of the lack of hookshot. And that's right, Fair Aim, as Chad has informed you then, it's the last simple of the tournament. Finishing off our second round losers bracket.
The last simple mode you'll ever see.
Ever. Looks like we're getting a dark old man from Andy now.
Yep, seems like it. Just hammer bumping his way through the cave.
Riveting stuff. In such beautiful detail.
Now it's especially good since both our runners are in dark rooms.
So picture, if you will, a link to the past. Randomized. And he gets his old man. Excellent.
Alright, we can finally see again. We switch back to the Link to the Past from Hut to the Past.
Oh, Callus, just the last simple of this tournament, all further matches will be at full shuffle or a more intense setting.
More intense is right.
So we got Andy gonna make some Dark World moves while Schwartz continues death warping around Pod, which will be much to his disappointment, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, we already know it's not really worth his time, but obviously he doesn't, so...
Yeah, for it being available, it's overall a relatively strong play, if you don't know the result.
So Andy on his first route through Dark World, I guess.
Indeed. Just finding a fairy fountain.
Oh, look at that. It's Harad Swamp.
Indeed. Oh, but unless the big key's in that first back chest there, he won't be going anywhere in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think he has to go to the basement or not for this? Oh, he's lucky.
At least for now, he can go get the crystal, but may have to leave this one unchecked if he ends up needing fire for the basement.
That is true, there could always be an item down there.
Alright, there's one. Just a big 20.
Yep, continuing his streak of not finding any gray items in the dungeon.
Right. And Andy just taking the vanilla drop to this chest.
Alright.
There's the map. But... yeah, so now we're down to a 50-50 of what's on Moldarm. Will it be the nacho plate or an item of varying disappointment level?
It could theoretically also be an item of great joy, but...
that would just be of low disappointment. You know, it varies.
yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Now you're right. Hopefully it's something good. This seed has been a bit stingy. And it would be nice to see, along with a crystal here, after a very strong Moldorm fight, that that he would be able to get something else for it. But that's the nacho plate, cows.
Oh, he is going to be so annoyed by that.
Goes with the burrito. Yeah, and so, unfortunately, the basement will have to be checked at a later time, once we get some fire.
Yep, can't forget
there goes,
that.
Alright, we got 5 and 6 are Turtle and Skull. Green is Ice Palace. Red is Pod.
Yep, that's what I saw. I didn't quite catch blue. But looks like...
oh, right. I wasn't even looking for it because I thought it was in the light world. But
nope.
Yeah, crap.
It looks like our trackers got it here.
Yeah, along with chat helping us out too. Thank you. Andy gonna make a stomp check.
AND4H finally decides to go back to Sahasranim.
And he is gonna be rewarded with the power.
The best Nintendo peripheral that has ever existed.
Even better than Rob?
It's close.
I'll say at least the Power Glove worked with more things.
Kind of.
Got digging game from Andy.
Let's see what Alec Baldwin buried in his garden today.
Maybe the manual for the recently deceased. It's a sword!
Oh my
Very
god. They finally have an actual weapon that is like 1/3 as strong as the one that they've had.
Right. But now they can fight those dastardly curtains.
Oh yeah, those are strangely resistant to everything.
Yeah. That seems like something you'd see in an infomercial, like somebody trying to hammer open their curtains.
Are you having trouble opening your curtains regularly?
There's gotta be an easier way. Try fighter sword.
You see someone set fire to their curtains. Oh, they're gone.
Yeah, why doesn't that work? I want to lamp my curtains away, especially in Skull Woods. Of course, that whole place might go up. It's all weird in there.
That'd be kind of cool. Actually, if you started lamping the little vines in Skullwoods, it should just burn down the whole dungeon and kill Mothula for you.
In chat, asking and collectively pointing out the need for fire in the basement of Hera. As Schwartz is going to go pick up his sword from Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, what does that guy need with a sword anyway? And why would you bury it?
Maybe that's why he buried it. There's no more need. But Andy proving he does never die for hobos. Getting that fake flip right up. And getting some hobo love.
Yep, get some love for it.
Ooh, and a very nicely executed fake flipper on that. That is a tough one to do, and we've seen at least one runner in this tournament softlock it.
Yeah, that fake flipper out from hobo really runs the risk of softlocking you big time.
So he'll continue his trek and check out the Pond of Happiness.
Looks like Schwartz, on the other hand, found a chicken house.
Very nice.
I think we've seen that before from Andy. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I've seen this layout before.
Yeah, I think he's back in Kakariko for some reason. Oh no, he's at the 5 cave.
Oh, yeah.
But this means he will likely make his way into GT, and we will have perhaps a parade of items.
We can only hope. He does have the hammer and the hookshot, so we can definitely check out some stuff on the left side.
On Andy dashing for that waterfall of wishing to avoid that fireball.
Yep, looks like he's gonna check what's in here, and
It's the
yeah.
Very nice.
I know, he is actually gonna check it. I was thinking he might go for a little Jesus walk here.
Yeah. So just a heart in the dam, but obviously its effect is great.
Yeah, since in an entrance shuffle, once you drain the dam, it stays drained for the duration of the game. You kind of want to get this out of the way as fast as possible, or at least somewhat early, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, especially you don't want to, have it be your go mode condition under a bonk rock after getting, what was it, Mimic Cave boots or something in that run?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like Andy's now going for his little Jesus impersonation.
Indeed. Yeah, and chat pointing out he's still in his Jesus walk and does have some ramifications for him. So far, doesn't look like much major out of Ganon's Tower, but we've only had 4 more chests.
Yeah, so far a little disappointing, as was Sora. Another life lesson. If you haven't learned from the bottle vendor earlier, you might learn now from Zora.
Yep. Rupees are just a plaything, apparently.
Schwartz here getting trolled a bit by all the stall foes.
Oh, a little too zealous on that throw. There he goes. Another big red for Andy.
I feel like they picked up so many of these already, but I feel like that in every seed.
Right. When there's, I think, 28 of them, so... Yeah.
Yeah,
A vanilla heart piece on the soggy spot. And there's a big red for Schwartz. I guess part of it, too, is you see the runners pick up different ones, so you probably see the 28 of them halfway through the run.
Yeah, that's very true. You just kind of mix in your head. Alright, here's the rando room. Let's see.
The big key.
That's not a bad find. Absolute boomerang. That's, I think, the first actually usable item he's found out of this.
Yeah.
And since he picked up the red one earlier, he really has not much use for it.
Yeah, it just depends on a matter of taste, I guess. He did put it to use pretty nicely here to get the crystal switches. Something that is, at least in the second room, I think impossible blue. So, at least he got some mileage out of it.
Yeah, I mean, boomerang's kind of underappreciated, I feel like, oftentimes. Especially since the freeze item packs of the enemies are also randomized, so you might just end up with something real helpful if you freeze a bunch of enemies.
That is true. And I'm definitely a fan of the red myself. I know a lot of people find it laggy, but then I'm not in the tournament, so I can't speak to speed.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know if we've, due to the lack of boomerang on the other side of the screen, I don't know if we've seen the stun item yet. But it's an interesting facet of the game. I've seen it be fairies.
Yeah, fairies may be the most useful unless you're still looking for a lot of money.
This is true. You could get a rupee farm going, or chat pointing out, actually, we had seen it apparently. Oh, right, because the hookshot can cause that, and it was 20 rupees.
Alright, we're seeing an Ice Armos fight here, still hoping for something useful.
Yep. As he puts sword spin strats to work.
Not an awful idea.
Nah, especially when this fight has some unusual damage tables related to it.
Oh yeah, very unusual to say the least.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of has to, and Zelna's pointing out that apparently they actually do less than the slashes. I guess maybe it's the being able to distribute the damage here was his hope and an advantage.
Yeah, probably. He's just trying to hit all of them. I'm pretty sure he knows about the damage tables.
Yeah. And Andy still pushing through Skull Woods here.
Yeah, just wants to see if he can get to those 2 items in there. I must admit, I've been following Schwartz's fight pretty closely, so I haven't really seen if Andy's picked up anything useful in there, but I doubt it.
If our trackers have anything to say, it doesn't look like they've gotten much out of Skull Woods.
I think there was a red rupee in here.
Oh joy. Or what do they say in Link's Awakening for that? Very nice. But if you find the 50, you're ecstatic.
Better than a 20 anyways. Oh, yeah. Schwartz really has to pay attention now, though. He's down to half a heart, and you don't want to call this track again.
Yeah. Did he go for the big chest before heading over here?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. Just nothing good.
Yeah, it didn't really have. I think it had a blue rupee, if I remember right. Now Andy is finding his quite disappointing 7 stash.
I'm getting stomped with 2 left.
That sucks.
It's tough.
So the question is, nope, he decides to leave. He doesn't want to do that all again. That might really hurt him, kind of like the lack of the glove and revisiting Sahasrara kind of hurt him.
Yeah, depending on when Andy gets in and if he has any better time with it, we'll find out if it was worth it. Of course, Andy's still having to visit the river to pick up his hookshot yet.
I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been there yet, but he seems to be having a plan of how his routing should go, so I'll be the last one to complain about that.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. He's definitely seemed the more determined of the two. Schwartz is going to open up his shopping mall. And the drama continues.
Yay, there was the little drummer dude again. Just for a split second, but I can't help but be happy about him.
I know, he's pretty awesome. And just a nice little bit of flavor they added that when you hit the target, he gets excited for you.
Yeah, I kind of wish Rando had a use for that guy in some way.
Yeah, I think I've seen at least one runner farm rupees off of him, but I don't know if it was the most prudent decision at the time. And by saying so, I mean that I'm not one with the knowledge to judge.
I think I was talking about someone a while ago, how much money you can actually get out of there. And I don't really think it's worth the time investment, considering you can pretty easily set up the Houlihan room east of the Sanctuary location, or the normal Sanctuary location.
It's true. If you haven't burnt your Houlihan room yet, and in a rando, I can't imagine you really needing two of them.
Alright, Blue Pendant is in Thieves Town. Our tracker already knew that beforehand, and so did we, but now we get another confirmation.
Indeed. The good half of Ice Cave. Well, provisionally good. Quite good. Got Mitts on Andy's side, and we're about to get him for Schwartz too.
Yep, that is indeed quite good. Can't argue with that.
And Eastern at Thieves.
Another dungeon with a bunch of dark rooms, though way easier, at least in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
And also another dungeon that is sadly bow-locked for both of them. So they cannot finish it. They do indeed want the D. You are very right about that, chat.
That saucy Link. I don't think he's actually ecstatic about that 50.
Probably not. I think he's got most of the money he's spending out of the way already, doesn't he? He's paid the digging game. He's already paid for Zora. I guess Kiki is still there.
Yeah, Kiki, potentially Super Bomb, the actual treasure game, if it becomes an issue.
True.
And then at that point, it's all potion money.
Yeah, I think they're both pretty good on money as it stands, but...
Oh yeah, certainly Schwartz at this point, although, you know, barring a trip to Zora, but even then, he'd still be close to 1,000. Yeah. And I think at this point, we know that Armos has something.
These dungeons are really stingy.
Yeah.
They really are right on each other's heels. The main
Come right up
difference,
to it again.
main difference being the Tower of Hera crystal that Andy has, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything really to call a lead on at this point, it's the main metric of the game's progress, the crystals. That hookshot is going to be necessary to get through Swamp Palace, but I do believe it'll be found soon enough.
Yeah, I can't imagine Andy will be skipping that river drop for much longer.
And Andy going vanilla due to low health.
Yeah, that'll make those 10 arrows even more disappointing.
Yep, and it also switches our lead. Although, actually, yeah, Andy realizing that he doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Schwartz is doing. Oh, I guess he's checking the big chest now.
Oh, he ran by it. Huh.
Oh no, he's just death warping for some reason.
Prepping it, yeah.
There we go, okay.
Alright, and we might actually see Andy get his way over to that river drop then, and that's really going to bring it down to just the crystal of difference, apart from the boomerangs, but largely inconsequential in place of the hookshot and bombs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fire rod comes up for Schwartz.
That's a really big find.
Absolutely, and that's just in the Village of Outcasts.
So I guess it's safe to assume that it's not going to take Andy too long to actually check that.
But as with this trip to the northern part of Hyrule, it will take some time at least.
That is very true. Andy finally checking out the well here. Gets a sword upgrade for his troubles.
Very nice.
So that pretty much sets him up on a good way for the swords to go. Nice, the sword absolutely needed.
Indeed. And Schwartz working on his smiths.
Where were they?
I have them in at... Oh, I saw them and I forgot to write them in. Crap. I don't have them in anywhere.
I guess we'll find out in a second, unless Schwartz is deciding on the Frog World Tour here. Or I guess right now the Dwarf World Tour.
I want to say it was just in Village somewhere, but then maybe it was Potion Shop. And there we go. Twizzle stick for Andy.
Yep, he finally gets it.
And actually Schwartz not remembering.
So we've already seen 3 swords upgrades so far.
We have, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and that bodes well for finding that butter sword, but now that I've said so, right? Oh man, yeah, Schwartz a little bit lost. In Kapow.
Looks like it.
I really believe they found it, and I can't remember where it was, but I want to say it was just somewhere in Kakariko. Like the front of the bar?
It seems like that Schwartz is thinking it's somewhere in the desert or mire area. He just can't quite remember if it was light or dark world, but we'll see if he's actually right in a second here.
Andy passing up that red rat.
Oh, how can you pass up a boomerang?
Oh, hey, Phylene. Doll shucks. This is simple.
Yeah, the very last simple match of the tournament, as you mentioned earlier.
Indeed. One last chance to level up your brain and get ready for that wonderful full shuffle goodness.
Yup.
Oh, and Blind's Hut, so hey. No problem to have a frog here.
Yeah, that's not the worst find. Let's hope it's a little more generous. Oh, well.
Oh, there, yeah, how about it?
About
What,
that,
was
I
a
guess.
Dark Agina?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh, both. Jesus, that was actually quite good. But
Yeah.
again, he seems to not have any bombs to check the back of it.
Oh, really? Lacking the bombs. Oh, no. Yeah, that's,
That's already what kept him from his progressive glove first for quite a
Yeah.
while.
Well, then we know Ice Rod is back there, right?
It has to be, right?
And Brian has entered the building.
That was a very blue hype cave.
The bluest of hype caves.
Oh boy. I spied Willard in the chat earlier, so he might be here to hear his own meme.
And the bomb shop found at the village of Outcast Fortune. Oh man, paying the premium for more bombs than he can carry. But with those rupees, yeah.
And I really hope Schwarz finds a blacksmith soon, because otherwise he'll be stuck with this frog for quite a while. And while he can enter all these houses and stuff, the frog will have some issues going into dungeons with you.
Right, it's an end he has to tie off. And there is one way to get rid of a follower. Switch him out for the bomb. And then the bomb, there's a million ways to get rid of.
Yeah, that's very true, but
they don't have that option right now, so he's he's between a frog and a hard place.
Pretty much.
Oh, arrow hype.
Just single arrow, the best item in the game. Oh, as Amazing AND4H points out, that's completely right. Kiki can also be used to get rid of the frog, so...
oh, thanks, Amp. I didn't even think of that.
That is very good. And
yeah, because he's a very temporary companion. And he's a lot cheaper.
Yes, very much so.
Well, at least for the initial get. I guess he's 10 rupees more, all said.
Looks like Andy's back on Death Mountain here.
Yeah, I wonder what he was going after.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but seems like he doesn't quite like it there either, so... Back to the old man he goes.
Because I know he had gotten over to a Dark World, but yeah. Mini Moldorm Cave. Bomb upgrade and some love.
Really not anything great in there.
Yeah, and until he can get rid of that get rid of that damn frog.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to the pod area now and probably going to get rid of him with Kiki.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
I do hope he's aware of him losing the frog once he pays Kiki.
Yeah, hopefully he's planning on it.
Maybe he was hoping he'd find them on the way somewhere. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we've seen them too, so... Unless we're both hallucinating.
Yeah. Andy with a nice setup there to rock block the rocks. as he goes to check out his Turtle Rock, which he's got the bombos for. That's what he's doing up here.
That's pretty reasonable play, I'd say.
Yeah. No, Schwartz bailing out.
Yeah, weird.
And P. FIFO, the only reason the frog would really be a problem is if he wants to enter a dungeon. Somewhat ironically, if he were looking to enter a dungeon, he had the opportunity with Kiki there in the Palace of Darkness area, who would replace his follower and then skedaddle after opening the place.
I think the followers also have problems going into multi-entrance caves, though I'm not 100% sure on that.
I wouldn't be surprised given how related the dungeon and multi-entrance caves are. We were talking about the way full shuffle works a little earlier. And we got our first shield of the match, 56 and that was in the Under Hyrule Castle, which is of course now located at Turtle Rock.
Yep, and we saw the first shield of the game on Andy's side here, picking up his plastic shield in the first chest of the castle. Oh, and the mirror for Schwartz. And the wishing well, which is in the Dark World potion shop.
That is huge.
That is indeed very huge. He has a number of really helpful items. He has all the medallions, so he doesn't have to worry about opening Turtle Rock or Mire at all.
Right.
He has the mirror, which opens up a bunch of locations in the light world that you previously couldn't get to. And he's still got his little buddy with him.
Yep. We need a spot for him on the tracker. Missing what Andy got out of the cell chest.
Looks like flippers if our trackers are to be believed.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes that an important trip to make.
That's the second time I've seen flippers in Zelda's chest in this entrance shuffle tournament.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds like Zelda's secretly a Zora.
You never know.
You must save Rudo from Ganon.
It looks like Schwartz is going to put his mirror to good use immediately.
Not a bad move.
If he didn't already have nearly 1,400 rupees, he might have liked that cave, but right now it's pretty much useless to him.
Indeed. And it looks like we're going to get another attempt from Andy here. That last chest there. And we do have the situation here, as far as I understand, that Andy can end up in the light world if he were to actually progress all the way through these silvers right now.
Oh yeah, that's always kind of interesting.
It is the one way that this mode lets you.
Putting this cane of brine to good use.
A good call. Is he going to try to put the frog back? Just wait here.
Hey man, just stand in that spot again and just wait a little longer. I'll be back for you.
Yeah. I gotta go check some things. It seems like he doesn't know what Ampharos had pointed out earlier, that you could ditch him at Pod. And so he's feeling rather frustrated now.
It kind of looked like he was having a conversation with the dwarf, like, hey, where the hell is your home?
Yeah. Don't you want to go to your home? Poor little buddy. Yeah, Andy, I don't think really getting what he wanted out of the sewers there.
Nope, not at all. I'm sure he's happy about the flippers, or maybe not. He fake flippered without many problems earlier, but...
And Andy's gonna make a run on Aghanim.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, it's a shame because the bow is available, and that gets, Wait a minute. Oh yeah, we did see Pod. Yeah, sorry. I'm misreading my notes. Got confused there.
Okay, he decided against it. I was gonna say, is he gonna do Lampless Aga 1? That is...
Yeah, after having trouble with the sewers, both of our runners running into a bit of consternation here with, Schwartz wanting to shake the blacksmith, and Andy leaving a dark room for a dark room.
Let's see, maybe Schwartz can pawn off the little dwarf to Gary here. Nope, not gonna try.
Yeah, no, I swear he's a chest. Open him.
Oh, and we're having Meyer
at Ice Palace. And enough resources to get around in here, but not enough to really get done what he needs to.
I really hate this room in Meyer.
Yeah, it's a room that's really good if you already have the cane.
Yeah, that's very true.
But in vanilla, they're like, hey, here's a room that's tough, and then you never go back into it. He found them. They were in Kek.
Oh, finally.
Wait, did he actually walk in and out so quickly that he didn't drop them off the first time?
It looks like it, yeah.
Wow. Speed strats. Oh my goodness.
All that for a red rupee. Yep, gets the bomb. Very deserved.
Oh boy.
First I take you on a huge trip, and then finally when I take you back home, you give me $20 for all that trouble.
I take you on a trip on the day of my daughter's wedding. And this is how you repay me. No. Oh, jeez. Well, he's got that nightmare over.
If he's actually going back to Pod now, I feel kind of sad for him, because he could have just ditched the guy with Kiki, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I guess he didn't know. That's going to be one for his playbook.
Yeah, that's definitely one he's not going to forget about again.
Yeah.
So Andy is in yet another dungeon where the lack of fire source might potentially hurt his chances of finding the item that he wants.
This is true as well. I was only thinking of the cane earlier, but he will be in trouble if he can't get this done. Or get his items before that. Now,
Yep.
Schwartz, having found Skull Woods at Pod,
I'm surprised he's not going for it, to be honest.
well, I think he lacks a key.
Oh, that's right, I didn't think about that.
Well, I thought the same thing until he walked out, and then I figured that had to be the case, because when you've got the fire rod, I guess not having bottle makes it a little tougher, because you end up with fighter's sword at the end of it, but, eh.
Yeah, it's not a great fighter sword at all. It's not a great fight in general, but
Yeah.
if you're lacking a key to even get there, yeah, obviously, very good point. And speaking of bottle,
Yep. It's B time. Oh no, and Andy just sneaking past those flying spears.
barely.
Finding his bomb shop.
Now Schwartz is going to make a quick Hera check here. Oh, he was in here before.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
and with that bow now, he should be able to finish this quite well.
Yeah, that's true. And with the fire rod, it'll make the dark turtle room and stuff like that a little bit easier because there are actually torches you can light.
Indeed.
And he's not going to run out of bombs anytime soon, hopefully.
In this dungeon, I don't think so. Yeah, I guess the interesting choice here is that it's a pennant, but if the item's on Helmasaur, then maybe you have to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think both of the runners have only been able to access keys, as far as I remember.
Speaking of,
I think they do have the big key already. Oh, no, wait. They found a couple more things in Dark Maze and whatever.
yeah, it was mostly nothing from what I recall. And based on what I have written down anyway.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a greedy seed that way.
So it's a bit of a questionable decision to actually finish
Ooh.
Pod, I guess. Ooh, hello, Hookshot Cave.
And by God, got ourselves a cane of Samaria.
There we go. I was lagging for a little bit here. A Cane of Samaria and a blue mail. That's a really good cave to find.
Indeed. And
Yeah.
with the requirements that we have in Mire and Turtle Rock, one that Schwartz will eventually have to go to.
Yep, absolutely. I'm also quite surprised by the difference in hearts now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer.
Yeah, it is a marked difference. Schwartz pushes his way through, finds that torch, and it's time to go to town. Hopefully. Oh,
Yeah, these turtles, they can be terribly trolly. You never know if they're gonna die or gonna turn around again if you hammer them.
indeed. There we go.
That's always a solution, I suppose.
Makes sense.
Oh no,
Oh,
did
but-
Schwartz die?
Yeah, not on purpose at that point, unless he was deciding bail, but saving and quitting would have done just as well.
Looks like he did decide to bail. Interesting.
And I'm learning a thing. Apparently, Quake flips those turtles. So with his loadout, those turtle rooms are apparently cake.
Oh, I didn't even know that either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably end up out of magic, but when you're just on your way to Helmasaur, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's
So
very
thanks
true.
for that, Rithvin. But AA saying it doesn't quite work that way. Huh.
Looks like Schwartz is finally picking up a sword upgrade.
Off the desert ledge. Alright, yeah, leveraging the mirror there. And a good move. And we know he'll find Turtle Rock here.
Yup. And gets lasered in the face and dies immediately. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that one might have been to get some health back, but I thought he was actually pretty healthy walking in. Which, speaking of, Andy taking the Death Warp out in lack of the mirror.
Yep. Alright, looks like Schwartz is actually making the trek into Turtle Rock here.
Once he gets in the tube. There we go.
Having a little trouble here getting in the right tube.
As Andy makes his way out of the Skullwoods, well, the pod area now where Skullwoods had been located this time.
Ah, Schwartz having some more trouble here in Turtle Rock. That green mail in Dark World can really hurt. Looks like Schwartz can't quite decide what he wants to do next.
Yeah, he seems to have had a bit of a hesitance in picking up routes. I mean, in an entrance shuffle, it's definitely a task. But, yeah, I think he's going for desert now. No? I guess, yeah, we must have seen Andy hit the castle earlier because I'm sure Schwartz would have remembered where Ganon was.
Yeah, I think he hasn't been here yet at all. Or at least not to that entrance. Unfortunately, since Schwartz is also lacking the boots, he's not going to get too much out of this Desert Palace visit.
Did we have something required on the torch?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, man.
Andy was in here earlier, and I think the two chests on the right that he can check now only have a compass and the map in them.
Ah, right. So the big key's got to be on that torch.
No, it's actually a heart piece. Oh, that's at least one item out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
There's the map, at least I remember that right. Looks like the pyramid only has a heart piece today.
Yeah, just vanilla.
Looks like Andy is gonna be picking up his mirror here finally.
Very nice. Maybe I'll get him to go over and check the mire area so he can pick up that bow. Along with, well, whatever was in the back of Blind's hut. And fill out his medallion collection.
I still don't know about that one lone chest.
Oh geez, giving the duck the slip. And sick kid with the powder. Must have been ricin or something.
Yeah, that's pretty okay item to find, I would say. I'm definitely happy about finding powder every time I get it.
As am I. Gotta love the safety factor. If you can find the net, and you usually find at least one bottle, it's even nicer.
Yeah, exactly.
But Schwartz... Huh. Oh, he's out of magic.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez. I was like, well, he was keen for remembering. And then, well. But yeah, we do see Andy in the desert area now.
Yep, that's a good choice for him. He's gonna pick up some well-needed items.
Indeed. Now, hopefully Schwartz can just tie this powder thing off. Just to know. Yeah, we've got a bow and 2 medallions incoming for our guy on the right.
And we're gonna finally find out what's in that chest back there. Let's hope it's
what's in the box.
And here come all the medallions. And
just a little bit of love.
Just a heart piece.
Now, in a way, it would almost just be worse if he remembered it.
I'm sure it's still very much on his mind, or he at least wrote it down somewhere, because when do you like leaving the chest behind? Oh, and there's our 4th sword upgrade.
Oh wow, in Skull Woods.
Giving Schwartz the tempered sword here,
Indeed.
which means he's only missing the one that Andy got from
The escape chests, I guess? Because I think they both went to Alec Baldwin.
I think they both went there.
Yeah. And Schwartz having the tempered now because he's gone to the desert ledge.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only one that Andy is missing. Or, well, not the only one, but the one that Schwartz has on him right now.
Right. The Thieves' Town was at Misery Mire. And we call that guy Alec Baldwin because he looks like his character from the scene in Beetlejuice after they are recently deceased, with the stretched out nose.
Yep, exactly.
And now, with fuller magic, Schwartz is going to go check out what's in the soup.
Well, Andy decides to check out Penda and Thieves' Town. Can't really blame him.
Saw this come up big in an earlier match, but man, that trip for the soup was not worth it.
Nope, not at all.
Shucks. No, the digging game. Looks like we might see Schwartz end up in the same place.
Yeah, it seems like, unless he's just going back for potions.
Maybe.
No, looks like he's gonna check the mire entrance.
We got Quake this time, so we did have to take care of that pterodactyl, because that will not take him out. He will own your face.
He sure will. You can't move, you're watching a cutscene, but that guy can still hurt you plenty.
Yep. Well, what are those?
Oh, hello there. That's a very good find to have. Boots, always very welcome.
Yeah, and chat astutely pointing out, this is a required dip in the Thieves' Town at this point to get desert done.
Yep, and since desert is a crystal, there's no way around it.
Yep. Gotta say hi to Steve.
Good thing both our runners are gonna find those in relatively the same time, I guess.
Yeah, helps keep it even, keep it exciting, and at the very least keeps us from having that just that down feeling at the end of the race when, you know, the one guy's just never gonna find him.
Yeah. That is really not a very fun feeling.
Yeah, and least of all for the runner.
Absolutely.
Our guys just about high-fiving at different ends of this hallway. Andy goes in to start his boss fight.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead. The sword quality also makes zero difference in this boss fight, as I'm sure everyone already knows.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think we'll see from Andy here? But it looks like he runs the script fight.
Yep, seems like it, and looks like he's not having much trouble at all with it.
Nah, really just moving quite deftly. Let's get some hype in the chat for Andy's blind fight. That was awesome.
Meanwhile, Schwartz is spamming the crystal switch here for reasons unknown. I guess he quick switched accidentally. Or not far enough.
Yeah. right. And we've got boots for both runners. Very nice.
Not a bootless suit anymore.
He dashes to that sword upgrade, and good on him.
Yep, now we're back to equality in the sword department.
And immediately getting the stair speed.
Yeah, I gotta love the spin speed.
And Andy with his bow gonna go ahead and clean off the Crystal Eastern.
And I think we do know that Armos has an item, right?
Yeah, that's what we came down to. So this could be doubly good for him.
It's probably gonna be another red rupee.
There's at least 28 more at large, right? Always 28 left, the infinite red rupee.
It sure feels like it.
Firewad, yeah, Firewad. Homestall.
I like that.
Yeah. Fire Rod was in the village of Outcast. And so that's what Amp was pointing out. If he goes through the rest of the village after this, then he should be ready to get his Firewad.
Oh, Firewad.
Strong bad. Have you seen my Firewad?
That really takes me back. Another pretty clean blind fight from Schwartz here.
Very nice. And getting $50 for it.
Probably not too happy about the $50, but I'm sure they're both very happy to finally have the boots.
Yeah. Oh man. It's now tempting to just go full Homestar on the rest of the run, but I'm not sure that would be fully appreciated.
Depending on how long the rest takes here.
Andy peppering our Armos with arrows.
Ooh, and silvers.
Very nice.
Not necessarily needed, but makes a bunch of boss fights very easy, and also obviously helps a lot with the cannon fight. Oh, and Schwartz is actually going back to pick up his piece of heart that he couldn't get earlier.
Oh man, good on him for remembering, but yeah, only too bad that that's all it was.
No bomb.
And here we go. It's a Firewad.
Ta-da!
Right, that's the last of it for me. Steve, I'm too busy to pouring Mountain Dew all over my computer to answer that question.
Everything okay on your side?
Oh, yeah. He was asking why our mouths are tiny, but they're ridiculously huge when open. I was just answering with another reference.
Oh, right.
Of course, the chat is all just all on fire about it now.
No, you've done it.
Yeah, now I've done it. Alright, we got treasure game, but nothing for it.
Nope, just extending his heart lead here even further.
Yeah. Heck, we might get to 20 without even trying over here.
Oh, and Schwartz almost bombs himself. And gets the butter sword out of the well.
Indeed.
That's all the sword upgrades done then.
So we got butter. Now we got Andy doing a frog tour, and I have a feeling this is going to be a significantly shorter one.
It sure looks like it.
Yeah, right to the point.
Yep, having no trouble remembering where those guys are. All these questions.
I got an email in my pocket, and I think it's going to melt. Oh, man.
Good old times.
Yeah. That might be one that some of us are showing our age on, too.
Maybe just a little bit.
Oh, man. I don't even care at that point, though. As Schwartz going to make his Eastern Palace play now as Andy drags the purple lunchbox around.
I'm always surprised to see people pick that up and then actually walk over there. I guess there's this spot where Andy is going to mirror now to check, but I usually like to pick up the chest and mirror immediately, and if I have the flute available, just flute to 7 and get it done with.
Honestly, yeah, it kind of depends on my loadout at that point, and if I ended up routing some other things in there in the meantime.
Oh, looks like Andy's doing exactly that now. He just wanted to really check that cave there.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, I can't really fault him for that.
Well, I meant the fluting at that point, because there's no sense of walking it. And then, of course, the lunchbox not being able to dash.
Even more money.
Yeah, the lockbox this time.
Looks like Gary's wife was too lazy to make him any lunch, so she just packed him a bunch of money so he could buy his own. Yeah, it looks like Andy is just going back to the Skullwoods area here. Not quite sure why.
At the very least to pick up a key, but other than that...
Oh, he was in here before, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, and he's got 2 keys,
two
so who knows? I guess it's to clear the whole rest of the thing out.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to make sure that once he gets to Mothula, he has everything else checked out. Isn't that going to be his last sword upgrade too?
I think so, yeah. We're going to have double butter.
There we go.
Pretty hype.
That is pretty hype. That's not something you see too often, I guess.
At least not at this point in the race.
Yeah, usually...
Maybe a good hour left, probably, and it's going to go all the more smoothly for that butter.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I feel like I should say shout-outs to Jay Coper, who on the Discord has Trogdor as his avatar. Just on account of all this talk.
Oh yeah, that's completely right. I saw that just recently. Looks like Andy is dipping into Swamp Palace now. Not a bad play. Lots of potential items. He can completely finish it if he wants to.
Oh, right, and that was the reason he was going back here. Of course, he has the fire rod, and so he went to open this up. Duh.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Indeed.
Took me until he had gotten there to realize. Because I was just thinking about Skull Woods, but I would not be surprised if we find a Schwartz right on his heels again.
Yeah, Schwartz just making sure that he's got enough keys to go around once he gets back to Mothula.
And apparently Coper ran with a Trogdor sprite for the Zelda 1 randomizer. That's amazing.
I didn't even know they had that.
Oh, it was custom.
That's awesome.
That's like bringing, you go bowling, bring your own ball. Except for way cooler.
Oh yeah, and as one of our trackers, Luke Dolphin, points out, Schwartz does not have the flipper, so he can't even do Swamp if he wants to.
Oh man, yeah, he's gonna find his way up here and have to turn that butt around.
The question is, when will he think to check down into Zelda's cell?
With it being all the way up on Turtle Rock, it might be a while.
Oh, he hasn't even found the dam yet.
Yikes. That had been at the waterfall wishing, which requires the flippers in the logical sense.
Yep.
So that is quite the turn of events. That trip to Hyrule Castle is becoming more and more important.
And the flippers are really the main difference between the two. I mean, obviously, Andy has both of the canes, which is a huge thing too, especially Samaria.
Yeah. Right now, I'd say Andy has all the more potential point.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
And also leading on the crystal count. That's a thing that can go back and forth right up to the end.
So now Schwartz is taking his dip into Tower of Hera. He can pick up the crystal, no problem. And he also has the fire swords to check the item that's still left in the basement.
Oh, that'll be an interesting development, to be sure. Now,
It'll
let's
really
see.
make it different.
With what's left, we've got Desert Palace is very completable. Swamp Palace, obviously completable. We're in the middle of it. Skullwoods, ready to go. Misery Mire, technically requiring the lamp. And Turtle Rock, I guess technically also requiring the lamp. With the full set of medallions at our disposal and a way into Turtle Rock anyway with the mirror, I guess he's really just looking for that lantern or the guts to do all the dark rooms.
Well, he still needs Ice Rod too.
Oh, I looked right past it.
But yeah, other than that, you're obviously completely right. They're really not that far off from Go Mode, I'd say.
Yeah. It's going to take Schwartz going to the Hyrule Castle at Turtle Rock. And Ice Rod and Lamp.
Yep.
Neither of which is a burrito. We're closing in. Who knows, maybe it's that Ice Rod in the basement.
That would be a huge item.
And Moldorm says no.
You are not coming down here, my friend.
But Schwartz says yes.
Yep, just 2 quick dashes and off he goes.
He says, that's my nachos.
Alright, let's see if he goes back in for that item in the basement.
I hope he does.
I do too.
Mostly just because it would be, he's already here.
Yeah, it's really kind of a given that I would go.
Yet another red rupee on Andy's side as we do get that rush to the basement.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it looks like Swamp really hasn't paid off at all so far.
Yeah, other than for the eventual crystal, it's been a bust.
I haven't been counting items, so I don't know if Argus potentially drops anything, but
I think we're looking at an Argus. We can't have Pedestal Lamp because this is Simple Shuffle, and one of our pendants will be at...
Yeah, we can determine that it's got to be Ice Palace at Ganon's Tower, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. That is the last one. And since we need all the crystals, but some of our crystals require the lantern... Oh, half magic, that's not bad.
That's a good find. Half magic is always nice to have. Schwartz just biding his time here.
And burning that last tile. Or burninating, perhaps.
Probably. Alright, Tower of Hera, what have you got? Oh,
Swagman.
Absolutely required.
Go get Aga 1.
Looks like Andy's making his way back to Palace of Darkness slot or entrance. Which was G Tower, right?
Ganon's Tower was at Eastern, Skull Woods was at Pod.
Oh, right, it's Skull Woods.
Yeah. And we can't have Ice Rod at Pedestal because we need a crystal to open the Ganon's Tower slot to get the last pendant. One of those crystals being Turtle Rock, which requires the Ice Rod. So right now, there's really nothing useful, as far as I can think of, that can be on that pedestal.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the way you get the pedestal seeds in Simple is you gotta have Ganon's Tower at Mire.
Or at its vanilla location.
Or vanilla, of course, yeah.
Schwartz is finding his hype cave now. It's only gonna get the Cane of Brian out of here, really.
Very nice fight from Andy, and yeah.
Well, Mothula drops the 400th threat rupee, apparently. Alright, looks like Andy wants to do his check of Ganon's Tower now, and we're probably gonna find out what's behind Ice Armos, the one thing that kept Schwartz from progressing earlier.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, and then depending on what he finds here, we'll probably see the right side cleared as well, and he's got all the equipment to just get this thing done, so looking forward to counting shots on Aga in a little bit.
I would not be surprised to see him full clear it. Just another $50 on the floating island. But it looks like Schwartz might be making his way into Turtle Rock, which we know will lead him to the flippers eventually.
Yeah, it's going to be a good move for him, and the one he needs to make at this point.
Yeah, the next thing he needs to find is the dam.
It is true.
He could also go finish up Skull Woods himself, since he's been there before. I don't think he's been to Mire yet himself. I know Andy has been in it, but I don't think Schwartz has set foot in there yet.
I believe you are correct. Andy just working his way through Rando Room as Schwartz picks up his first shield. Plastic.
Yay. Fisher Price shield.
Here come the Armos. Just moments before we'll see Schwartz pick up them flips.
Oh, looks like Andy killed Bob.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Oh yeah, since Andy got the silvers too, he's gonna make really short work of this Armos fight.
Indeed. Oh, and just a little early on that final shot. Gets it on the second. With some red mail. And just some other junk.
Yeah, not too great, but I'm pretty sure Schwartz would have been happy about finding his first mail upgrade.
Yeah. Now between the red mail and the golden sword, it's a something of a full loadout and a safety seed.
Yeah, he's really got everything except for the powder and the bug net, I guess, that makes it full safety.
Yeah, well, and I guess the riot shield or the Texas toast, if you will. But
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could also count the cape if you really wanted to.
yeah, so I take it back. It's not really that safe yet, apart from the 17 hearts.
The 17 hearts, the biggest sword he could get, and the best mail he could have. Yeah, not that safe.
Yeah, needs more safety.
I certainly would.
I know I myself would probably still fail.
That's why I rather talk about the game than play it.
Haha.
No, that's not true. I play just as much as I talk about it, I guess. At least I enjoy playing it just as much as I enjoy talking about it.
Indeed.
Alright, Andy doing pretty well in the much loved tile room here in GT. Only gets 10 arrows.
And nothing else, just the peace of mind. Which is probably only worth about 10 arrows.
Yeah, true, but then again, especially if you're looking for basically just one item,
Yeah.
leaving any chest behind will weigh on your mind heavily, I'd say.
And we got a dam pool incoming for Schwartz. A shovel for Andy.
Oh boy.
And a lamp. There we go.
No more dark runes for Andy.
Yeah. Just needs that ice rod, which could be up this tower.
Yeah, there's still a couple chests left to check.
Yep.
I do have to say, though, Schwartz's timing is almost perfect. He finds the flippers, then he gets the dam pole. He already knows where Swamp is, so...
Yeah.
That
That waterfall must have been weighing on his mind. And now he's going to get his Zora run, which... Not going to pay off for him, but that's alright. It's a play he has to make.
Yeah, you don't want to leave Zora behind. You never know.
Andy having just the tiniest bit of trouble with these mimics.
What do you think? Is he going to opt for the safety fairies, or is he going to just man through it? It looks like he's
based
going.
on lack of bottles, I was going to say, yeah, I think you got to do this because you don't want to go back up there.
Yeah, that's always very annoying to have to redo all that
pass
stuff.
it up the magic refill.
Interesting choice.
Eh. I guess it'll only really come into play if he decides to try to go for fire rod strats before Landmo.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But then with a full bill of health too, I guess it's going to take a lot to endanger him.
Yeah, it shouldn't be really too much of a problem, especially with Butter Sword. Everything pretty much dies in one hit.
Indeed. Never given that pink style child the chance to fire a bone. And we're gonna see a silver Landmo. I'm just missing the one cycle on a errant arrow, as Schwartz does head on up the Swamp Palace.
Yep, right back to it.
And Andy almost calling his bird in on those Wizrobes, but getting the quick swap.
Alright, here comes the torch room. Shouldn't really have any trouble with half magic and the amount of magic he has left.
Yep. I'm playing it safe still with Lantern for the first few shots. Saying screw it to the quick swap and just menuing. I don't blame him there.
It really sounds like quick swap is a super good thing to have, but sometimes it just works against you.
I'm playing safe there to make sure you can get all four. Very prudent. Oh.
Blocks the chest for good luck.
Indeed.
Doesn't really have anything though.
Yeah, I think quick swap might be one of those things that we see the times when it messes up, and then like getting the bombs in there before the conveyor belt room, like that was exactly what quick swap is for. You've got a bunch of empty movement time there that you can just be tapping L.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And a shield upgrade out of the validation chest. But yeah, it does, at times, it'll lead to, 6 or 7 R taps when it was 2 downs on the control pad.
Yeah, sometimes you're just, especially in Rambo, you're just not quite sure which items you have and what their position in the menu is, so you just tap R and don't really know where it's going.
Right. Looking like 2 and then 1. And then 2.
Another 2.
And he gets it off the first one. Very nice.
Down he goes. So that's AGA 2 done for Andy.
Yep. I think at this point, that drop that's going to open up is one of the... or is it the ferry?
I think it's the ferry, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Andy full cleared Swamp, to answer a question from chat. I think Andy full cleared Swamp, but Schwartz skipped the left side, I believe.
I was not watching closely enough to say. And no go mode yet because we need an ice rod. And in a technical sense for Schwartz, we need the lamp, but he may be comfortable with the dark rooms.
Schwartz also needs the Cane of Samaria still.
Oh yeah, missing that too. Thank you.
Looks like Andy's just gonna make quick work finishing up Desert here. Not a bad choice, I'd say.
Yeah, for the state he left it in, it's even quicker, and so... Samaria is in the bumper cave slot, which was hookshot cave. And we do see Schwartz dive back in for his left side.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I don't think skipping all those chests as far away as they may seem is a good idea in his position. We sadly already know that there's not really anything of worth in there, but...
Yeah, but this is the play he has to make in this case. When you still need items, you leave no chest behind.
Exactly.
Awesome key dash shot for that. As Schwartz makes sure he avoids a soft lock.
Yep, no flooding the key, please.
I like your call there in chat for the ice rod.
Yeah, I do believe it is in Laser Bridge room in Turtle Rock. I don't know why I believe that, but sounds like a good thing.
And our item on land mode, just another piece of heart. Completely unnecessary at this point.
Especially for Andy, who is now at almost full hearts, really. I don't think you're ever going to see a full 20 heart seed.
We definitely got real close on one of these races. It was either a 19.5 or a 19.75.
Yeah, but I think the potential to miss just one heart piece in one of those random chests once you're in go mode is too big to ever get really 20.
Yeah, you'd have to be very, very unlikely. An ice rod cannot be pedestal.
No, at this point, we're pretty sure, or we're 100% sure that pedestal can have anything useful.
And that is on account of the fact that there's a pedestal or a pendant dungeon in a place that needs all the crystals already. And first bottle for Andy there. I wonder if he'll run right off and go to Sick Kid.
I think he will, since he's still looking for that elusive ice rod.
And nobody turning in their, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Andy not turning in his shovel yet either.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did find the shovel earlier, so...
And we are going to get a Sick Kid check. Here we go. Well, it looks like he'll be putting the rest of his kit to use in Northern Dark World. It's that powder.
I bet Andy wished he had that in G Tower earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely a help. But he did well enough.
Yeah, he had no real problems. Went just fine without.
All right. Let's get some Kane hype for Schwartz. He's about to get it. If he can calm his nerves enough to move across here.
There we go.
Well, there it is.
That is a cane of some sort.
Thank you, Herfy.
Sure, anytime. And Schwartz finally picking up his first mail upgrade.
Oh, that too.
Is that Vanilla King's Tomb?
No. Or, well, the contents maybe. Or no, Cape's supposed to.
Oh, it's because I saw Andy go into the King's Tomb and then I saw the actual inside of King's Tomb on Schwartz's screen. That's why I got confused.
Right. No, I did the same thing. I had to double take.
So they're pretty even on items except for the lamp, I'd say, right?
Seems like it. I mean, that's the only big hole I'm seeing in either side other than the shovel, which could prove to be a big thing, but it's not likely that Schwartz is going to end up missing that in some way if it's important. Because he's either going to find his ice rod or Shovel's blocking ice rod.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's item-wise at least.
As Serious Business is pointing out, he's 2 crystals and Aga 2 behind, though I think the 2 crystals are relatively quick to get for Schwartz. The Aga 2 thing, well, climbing the tower and everything, especially since he hasn't checked behind ice armors yet. That's probably going to cost him some time, but oh, Andy picks up a second bottle.
Nice. But yeah, item-wise, though, as we were saying, relatively even. It's just, obviously, Andy has established himself some crystals.
And looks like he's getting going for his digging spot after checking the bonk rocks here.
That would seem like a pretty sharp bit of routing. And we've got a Gina's Cave.
He did have the shovel selected already, but since he found the Gina's Cave, he has to switch again.
Oh yeah, good look on that. I didn't even check his item. But Agina just stashing some cash.
Yeah, this was definitely a rich seat. They've gotten a lot of money.
Indeed. Might get up to the 21st century by the end of it. And Schwartz putting together that powder.
Yep, very good use.
He's going to do the dance to the Sugar Plum Fairy as these tiles go about and the fairies last for as long as they need to.
I'm kind of surprised that he didn't catch both of them, considering he has the net and at least one empty bottle.
You know, it would be a smart move. Maybe he's waiting for the tiles. Speaking of bottles, digging led to the bottle of Kool-Aid.
All right, a good thing to have. Andy now with 3 bottles, one having a fairy, so that's pretty safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, just picks up the fairy, doesn't care. Andy making his trip back into Meyer, I think. Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, and he'll be able to finish this no problems.
Yeah, now that he has everything, absolutely no problems, especially with his equipment. I'm assuming Andy's next play after finishing Meyer is gonna just be to go back into Turtle Rock and hope for the best and maybe find the ice rod there. I'm not sure if he would like that gamble.
Yeah, I forget the way the exits get lined up on this one. Is the laser bridge lead out on the right side of desert?
I believe so. That's the only one that's left, right?
Yeah.
The left one went. Well, it might be the center since they both don't have book. I don't think I've seen anyone come out of the normal desert entrance yet.
Yeah. Well, the front door goes to the front door on that one. And then, yeah, I'm thinking laser bridge is on the right side. And so it's going to be a long trip in either way. But, yeah, I mean, at this point, you got 5 potential items in there. It might be worth the risk of having to rerun the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Might be. It's a gamble I will probably take, though that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Well, sure it does. We're supposed to provide some insight here.
Yeah, that's very true, and I think we do, but my routing decisions are usually, well, debatable at best, I would say.
And Andy opting out of bunny strats for Vitreous there. That's too bad.
Sadly. Makes really short work with the silvers, though.
Yep. Solid fight.
Just gets a key.
Which in that case, had he actually cleared this out?
I'm thinking. I think he got both. No,
maybe it was that he got. Huh. Oh yeah, he's going back in. So. Yeah.
I think he hasn't checked the one chest that's behind those blue crystal switch things on the right side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, I guess he's left quite a bit of this done, and or undone, rather, not checking the fire according to chat.
That's very true. He didn't check the fireplaces either, so there's a couple of chests left with one item that he can still get, as far as I remember.
It doesn't take long to get deep into here, and so I think, oh, there you go. I was going to say that once he finds it, now he can mirror out, and yeah. So sharp move on his part.
So, is he gonna go to Turtle Rock now? Sure looks like it. Nope, maybe not.
Oh, well, he can't get in the front door yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's gonna mirror to the left ledge, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh. Or just go into Meyer, I guess? Oh, okay,
well, he
that
can't
works
get in
too.
there direct. Yeah. I was gonna say...
I thought he was gonna mirror on the left ledge, but I guess he wants this entrance to be where he starts, which makes sense.
Yeah. At the very least, if he gets key locked out of the top, then he'll know that it wasn't, you know, he'll have been thorough and not have wondered if he screwed himself on a decision.
Yeah, that's very true. I just like had the laser bridge in my head stuck so hard that I
Yeah.
was basically just fixating on that.
Oh, very nice.
I've never gotten that.
I was gonna say I don't see a lot of people actually pull that one off. That's a pretty quick series of inputs. Oh, having a little trouble getting the hookshot skip on those rollers, but Schwartz going through his Aga 2 fight.
Yup. Seems to be working out okay for him.
Working that awful chain chomp room.
Yeah, those guys hurt really bad even with red mail.
Indeed.
And
Schwartz, yep, takes down Aga.
Exactly. And you deciding not to put his powder to use it all?
Yeah.
I think they might have just forgotten about it.
Yeah, I think these owners are usually used to not having it, and so they don't even think about it. Ah!
Oh,
There goes the toast.
another bit of safety equipment here.
Yeah, and hey, couldn't have come at a better time. He's gonna need it to get that ice rod off the laser bridge, right?
Exactly.
Got the Texas toast and the butter sword.
I'm getting hungry.
Oh, man.
Alright, looks like Andy's gonna be spat out here at the left side. Gonna go for the back entrance.
Yep. And we got big chest incoming. It's a key!
Hooray!
Oh, boy. Got Schwartz going for his Skull Woods now.
Yeah, a pretty good decision, I would say. He has complete access to everything. He also has that key now that he was lacking earlier.
Indeed. It's definitely the quickest crystal he can get to kind of bolster his standing. As the slow, deliberate beat drones on for Andy.
Yeah, we're just waiting for this room right here.
Oh, and Schwartz getting sniped by the Wallmaster.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. And there it is.
And there is the ice rod.
An excellent call from my co-commentator here.
Thank you, thank you. I
Wow,
promise I
this
didn't
ends
look
up
at any
being
spoilers.
this ends up being just a heck of a play, but he got so excited he forgot a key.
Oh yeah, he's missing a key.
It's got to be here. I don't know where it is. Yeah.
Alright, now we can go
Oh,
finish
that's
it
fun.
up. Alright, well, that was great for Andy, but sadly that pretty much spells the demise of Schwartz, I would say.
Yeah, and that's the even notwithstanding that was a bold call on Andy's part in the first place. Probably the best percentage one, but most people try to avoid going into Turtle Rock without that ice rod when they just need to clear it.
Yeah, it's always a tough decision to gamble on one of the rods being in the laser skip room or anywhere else in Turtle Rock, but it sure paid off this time.
Yeah, smart guys like you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, getting an awesome zero cycle here.
Yeah, making absolutely short work with that butter sword.
Yeah, an absolutely brutal beating. Wow, didn't even let him through the first turn.
No, just gonna rip him right away.
Fantastic fight.
Gets the mushroom.
Gets that sweet mush.
Guess that's one fetch quest we're not gonna finish today.
Yeah.
Unless he really wants to give his opponent a chance, I doubt he'll go back to the potion shop, but we'll see.
Yeah. That was a really like Mario style turtle boss there. Kill the boss, get a mushroom.
That makes sense. That's so true.
Yeah. Oh wow, and Schwartz actually going for his TR run.
Oh wow, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, I wonder if based on the way the whole thing was put together, can he actually reach it though? Because I don't think he went in through the front door. On Ganon, just with the cordial greeting, is here we go.
Here we go with Butter Sword and Silvers. This should be a very short affair.
Wow, and those awesome dash strats. I love seeing that. We got Texas Toast for Schwartz as well off of his vanilla big chest.
And you're already approaching phase 4 of the Ganon fight here.
Yeah, making just absolutely mincemeat of Ganon here. No worries about the torch glitch in this one.
Nope, absolutely not.
Oh man, really cutting that dash just short. I'm clenching.
Oh boy. Almost
Wow,
gets knocked out here.
GG.
GG to Andy. He finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 21 seconds. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, what a strong showing, especially to finish that off, making the call on Turtle Rock with the ice rod. Just wrecking Trinex and going right in and destroying Ganon. We've already got him in the chat, so let's bring him in. Andy, GG.
Gee.
GG, Andy. Very nice showing there.
My routing at the start was kind of messy, but it worked out.
That was the seed, though, in a way.
In a way. And I knew there were so many single chests and dungeons that I didn't get yet, and I knew I was like, man, I could go out of my way to
Andy,
get them,
GG.
but it's V26, and I've seen Turtle Rock
GG,
have the ice rod
very
more than enough
nice
times to
showing
know
there.
that maybe
Yeah.
the gamble is worth it.
It
I was sad when
that was the
in these
seed.
games,
Well,
in
we've
a
got a
way.
little bit of echo going on.
Oops.
Yeah, I think
I think we got it there.
We good?
I think so.
Alright,
yeah,
cool.
I think that should be good.
I wanted to get the last 3 chests and escape so bad, but it's like the guy's doing 2 hearts of damage because it's Dark World rats and snakes. Ugh.
Oh,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got a little bit of echo
And then I was
going
like,
on.
you know, maybe I'll just do Agnum so I can get the backdoor entrance. And they're like, oh wait, I don't have a lamp. I don't actually know this path. I know most
I
dark
think,
rooms,
I
not
think we
the
got it
upper Hyrule
I think
Castle
so.
dark room.
Yeah, I think that should be good.
Do that.
Yeah. But altogether,
yeah.
just an absolute excellent run, and you really calling that Turtle Rock ice rod at the end.
Yeah.
It was bold, but it was correct, and I mean that's how these seeds are won.
I mean, it was legitimately. I think I was so close to running out of locations. It was like the 3K southeast like Hylia Dark World, the regular Mimic Cave location in the Light World, and 3 chests in the End of Escape, and then the 1 chest in Pod and the 1 chest in Hera. Like,
right. Yeah, and I want to say that one in Hera ended up being nothing much.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, well, based on the loadout you had to finish, I mean, none of them really could have been anything that important.
The basement of Hera was the bug net.
Right.
Ah,
So,
yes. Oh.
You technically
so my bad.
out.
Very, very important.
Yeah, you technically missed out on the required item, but I guess you somehow finished the seed anyway.
Somehow, some way, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
that was
what are-
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna
it's
say,
okay.
It was an incredibly good showing. We really enjoyed the Trinex fight at the end there, the zero cycle with the butter sword and everything.
Yeah, really showing how it's done.
I was throwing it pretty hard on Ganon there, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with your dashes, you had me clinching.
Oh, the dashes aren't what I'm worried about. It was the fact that I almost fell twice.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I was worried you were gonna just go run right off. I mean, not that I would expect that of you, but just, you know, end of a long run and...
Oops.
Yeah.
And the boombox sleeps again forever.
Yeah.
Right.
So any big surprises from your end on the seed?
I mean, outside of the Turtle Rock gamble and the fact that, like, it was a very, very bizarre seed. I left out a lot of loose ends on the overworld at first, and in a way, I definitely should have gone back for those way before I did a lot of the things I did, because I ended up missing out on, like, early hookshot, which would mean early Ganon's Tower. I knew I could do Ganon's Tower when I had the hookshot, but I didn't want to risk having to go back in multiple times because of the right side, because I didn't have a fire or the cane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it ended up working out for you in the long run.
It did. Very much so.
Yeah, and especially since it wasn't like hookshot was terribly hard to find, right? It was just yeah.
I should have gone there so much earlier, though. I was like, oh wait, I didn't go over here yet. The Thieves Down boots was probably the biggest surprise for me.
You know what? That I'd forgotten about that, and that was huge, and it was amazing that both of you guys actually did go in for those right away.
I mean, I always clear Thieves Down on principle, even if it's pendant.
Yeah, it's a relatively quick dungeon, so I can definitely agree with that. But yeah. Other than that,
I'm glad the Jesus glitch paid off. Jesus glitch paid off big.
Oh yeah, getting to the dam so you can actually get the swamp right away once you had the flippers.
Yeah, and the fire rod because it was in back of Skull Woods.
Right.
Yeah, that really helped out. We saw Schwarz earlier finding swamp finally, but he hadn't found the dam yet, and he also didn't have the flippers yet, so he was just kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that I narrowed it down that was the only way that could have been that dungeon, because I went to everywhere else first. Like, I knew Ice Palace was in Ganon's Tower. I was like, well, there's no way that this is important.
Right.
Skull Woods has to be Swamp Palace by proxy, and now I know. Now, once I found the fire rod, it's like, all right, I better go in and clear it out. You know, I still need a lot of things.
It sounds like you had just all the right notes and details managed, which for every race so far, it seems to come down to little details being managed well. So kudos to that. And kind of in the opposite direction with that, Schwartz ended up running around with the blacksmith on his tail for a bit and couldn't remember where he was supposed to go.
I have a Word document with all the important locations I find. It's like, all right, blacksmith is here.
Right. Yeah. And then I
think I labeled it Right Lady House.
Well, it was the right lady house to take him to anyway. But
sorry to cut in here real quick, but it looks like Schwartz made it to the boss door where Landmolas is hiding in Desert Palace, and then realized he didn't pick up the big key yet.
Oh no.
Goodness. Yeah. Another big setback.
He does have it now, and he's right back on his way. And he's also in go mode, but
yeah.
Oh, he got the ice rod and T-Rock?
Yeah.
he just
Surprised
did
him.
T-Rock.
Well, yeah, so he's got Desert to clear and then Mire, which I think he hadn't stepped foot in. I should hope he knows where it is by elimination, but...
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him in Mire at all yet.
Yeah, that was another awesome bit of routing. I want to comment on your choice in Mire to go straight to Vitreous on your, I guess it was actually your second visit.
Yeah, I wanted to, it was a 1 in 3 shot of having the other item in the dungeon. So
right, exactly.
Right. And I needed to get the crystal anyway, so
right.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah, no, that was excellent, especially you know, ultimately paying off very well too for not having to go through the longest cutscene in the game.
Yes.
And we're just picking up a 6th crystal with Schwarz now. But I feel like there was another question that had come up in the run that I wanted to ask, and I must have failed to write it down. Shame. But any other thoughts on the run? You excited to get into the full shuffle?
I've never done a full shuffle yet, so I gotta practice a bit.
Oh man.
I'm sure it's similar to Insanity or Madness, but you know the exits are actually the same instead of not.
Right, and in a way that makes it more daunting, from what I understand. But it just kind of depends on what you're used to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay at taking notes, like as long as I take important.
That is the name of the game.
It's just a matter of looking for things, I guess. I'm pretty good about checking every corner of the world, though. It's like...
Right.
I am disappointed I let the fire rod hanging so long. Like, I knew I left, like, that section of Village of Outcasts untouched at the time, but I wanted to hit Hookshot Cave because I knew it was up there. Like, I kind of eliminated all the other options. Hookshot Cave was up there, so I better go check it out.
And that ended up paying off huge. That was another sharp thing where you'd gotten that hookshot and went right back for it, where I want to say Schwarz didn't find it until much later, and of course, having gotten the hookshot earlier, there wasn't the opportunity for him to know about it and not be able to clear it, but still, your timing with it enabled you to get your crystals a lot quicker.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty good about covering up my loose ends. Like, sometimes something slips by me and then I feel dumb, like, you know, backdooring T-Rock in my last race. I completely forgot I could do that. And I'm like, oh yeah, right, I could do that. And the moment I enter T-Rock is when my opponent finished.
Right.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and that is one of the aspects that gets all the more crazy in the full shuffle, so you'll have that to look forward to.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll do fine. You've obviously you've shown quite well, and you've got a strong reputation in the community for getting it done.
What other? Did anyone find the book? I know I didn't find it.
No.
No, not yet anyway, and I doubt that Schwarz will end up with it.
Did the mushroom lead to anything fun?
Not sure.
I guess I'll check now. I might as well, right?
Yeah, you can check now, I guess. I don't think Schwarz will check it anyway. He has got it before he finished up everything, but since he's in go mode, he's just go moding Mire now and then going directly to Ganon, I'm assuming.
I had 26 games played. I had to save and quit and death warp so many times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Andy's gonna find out what our mushroom is for us. Get some mush hype.
There's one other location I didn't check. It was the Dark World Bonk Rocks by Link's house. I guess I also could have checked Fat Berries now that I actually have the last crystals 5 and 6, because T-Rock was my last crystal. Did that have anything? Or no. Oh, he was a good.
Yeah, we weren't sure ourselves.
I think you guys checked pretty much exactly the same spots with maybe 1 or 2 differences. There really wasn't too much. Like, there was a lot of route diversion between you two.
Piece apart. Thank you, Witch. The duck didn't pick me up. Hello.
Down too low in that Sash gap.
Where was the bomb? Alright, I know where the super bomb is. I have it written down. I just needed to double check. bomb with Fortune House, Dark World. Oh. Oh my gosh, I had to walk so far to get it to the place. Oh no. Be a hike. Maybe it's actually Mimic Cave.
Well, now we got round 2 of the race. We've got Schwartz is about to go in for his Ganon fight. Can you get the bomb there?
I'm gonna get the bomb, but I'm not gonna get it there in time because I have to walk all the way around.
Yeah, nah, no boots.
I mean, no, not even. I mean,
well, I mean, just you can't, you know.
Yeah, it's just the fact that I can't jump off ledges is the big thing.
Yeah, that is really annoying.
All right, we got Schwartz starting off his Ganon fight. We got the game audio switched.
Yeah, it looks like he shouldn't have any problems either. He does not have red mail, but it shouldn't really make that much of a difference.
I can't jump. I want to jump so bad.
No jumping for you, sir.
Red mail was in Ganon's tower, right?
Yeah, it was behind Ice Armos, and sadly Schwartz went there a lot earlier than you did because he had the hook shot, and he died to Ice Armos and then never went back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess.
Almost there, everyone. Almost there.
The problem is, since you're obviously streaming it, the restream and what we're seeing is also a little bit behind, so you're even further away on our screen.
I'll keep the spoiler hidden until you get to see it then.
Alright, well, GG to Schwartz, first of all,
just
finishing up his Ganon fight.
Solid fight.
He finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Not a bad time for this format at all.
Nope, not at all.
Alright.
Let's see if we can get Schwartz in here too for an interview, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see if he jumps into general. And 3, 2, 1. Show me what you got. Oh, it's just the Chia house. It's fair enough. Found himself a good spot to hide anyway. We appreciate you giving a little bit of a extra show too. Always fun to find out those aching questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know where Book or Cape were. Those are the 2 items that are missing, really. And
I bet you 2 of them. They're probably in they're probably in the back of Escape, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really not that much left, is there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess could be an ice palace, really.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. That is. Also, I forgot that the cave-ins are shuffled. I don't remember how to get back up. Alright,
I also just got confirmation from Schwartz and IRC that he does not have a microphone, so sadly we can't interview him even if we wanted to.
Oh, shucks. Well, GG's to him anyway, and a great run.
Yeah, absolutely. GG's to him too. Great run from both of you guys.
Thank you. I hope the audience enjoyed the show.
No. Yeah, chat. Let's get a little love for our runners. As always, the same idea at the same time.
Checking vanilla Mimic Cave.
Just as a pre-warning to you, Andy, we might be cut off here soon because at 10 there's supposed to be an F of 1 randomizer going on here, as far as I know.
Fine. You don't have to keep me going then. I'm just playing around because we haven't signed off yet. That's all I'm doing.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna watch for as long as it's here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting for word from Fiesel. He's in communications with us on Discord here. All right, sounds like we'll be switching over in just a moment here.
Okay. Well, the cave was just a fairy fountain.
So nothing. Man.
Fair enough.
All
right. Well, thanks again, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck in the next round.
All right. Thank you. Farewell.
Yep.
Goodbye.
See you. All right, and I've been Epibliticus with Herfy Durfy, bringing
Thank you.
thank you for joining us. Shout outs to Feasel and everyone at Speed Gaming, SM Buy, the devs of the randomizer, LL Cool Dave, and then the core item randomizer team. Stick around. I want to say, what do we got next? Was it SM?
It's Final Fantasy 1 randomizer.
Or Final Fantasy 1, right. Yeah, the chat probably knows better than I do at this point. And that will be an exciting spectacle to see.
Yeah, thanks to Feasel, of course, for restreaming, and stick around. It's going to be an awesome thing to watch if you've never seen a FF1 randomizer run.
Indeed.
All right, I think that's it for us. So have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yep. This is Epi signing off.